Wear a mask, people. The CDC now recommends it.
Heated talks across the Treasure State today as more counties consider making masks mandatory.
Plus, exact change only, how the pandemic is shortchanging the economy.
And later, making the most of the summer break and a few bucks along the way.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
A number of states are now pausing or rolling back reopening plans as COVID-19 cases increase. Thanks for making MTN a part of your evening. I'm Tim McGonigal.
And I'm Hallie Schwinnard. We're expecting a news conference from the governor tomorrow afternoon. What this will entail, we don't know yet, but it comes as we see another jump in cases here in Montana.
State of Montana now reporting 972 active cases with 34 deaths total. We saw 2 more deaths in Yellowstone County, one at the Canyon Creek Memory Care Facility, and that brings the total to 8 deaths at that facility. Also, a woman in her 80s died this morning at Star Assisted Living in Billings. Health experts are now saying now more than ever is the time to be proactive and protect yourself. Stay home unless necessary, social distance, wash or sanitize your hands frequently, and wear a mask when in public.
As we're faced with more coronavirus deaths statewide, just as you saw, Governor Steve Bullock says he shares in the grief. He released a statement today saying, as we stand with the community and comfort the loved ones of these Montanans, we cannot become complacent in the fight against COVID-19.
The Whitefish City Council unanimously passes a mask ordinance requiring masks to be worn in indoor public settings as well as in groups larger than 20 in public. And starting tomorrow morning, it's required by the city of Whitefish that people wear masks indoor in public settings. Many Whitefish residents were in attendance speaking out against and for the mask requirement. One resident opposed said making this ordinance mandatory won't yield results.
But you can't force your health decisions on somebody else and ever get positive results. It never works.
Our guests from Montana, from Florida, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, from California, from Texas, they have all been shocked at the number and percentage of people not wearing masks just as a gesture of common courtesy.
The deputy mayor of Whitefish says this mandate is about protecting the community as a whole. An angry crowd showed up this morning at the meeting for the Gallatin City County Board of Health. The topic of discussion, making wearing a mask mandatory. And the meeting was canceled before it could even get started. The Gallatin County Sheriff tried to get the crowd to follow social distancing rules, but attendees refused to leave the auditorium. Things escalated once it was announced that the meeting was postponed. The board has now scheduled a virtual meeting for Friday.
Taking on a mortgage can be hard for many Montanans under the best of circumstances, let alone during the economic uncertainty of this pandemic. In today's Rebound Montana, MTN's John Riley spoke to a new homeowner who just got the keys with the help of Habitat for Humanity.
On Monday evening, 5 families were given the keys to their new homes by Habitat for Humanity.
Did I think I'd be living in a brand new home? Definitely not.
New homeowner Shelby Sarian was only able to achieve that goal through the help of the low-interest mortgages from the Montana Board of Housing. Sarian's home wasn't a handout. Over the past year, the families built the homes themselves with the help of Habitat staff and numerous volunteers. They also had to finance the material and remaining building costs of the home.
Honestly, I expected to rent for quite a while and save and hope for a newer mobile home, so this is kind of beyond what I envisioned.
Montana Housing, through the Department of Commerce, assists families with buying a home, down payment assistance, mortgage servicing, rental housing assistance, and more.
It's an amazing thing to work in affordable housing and to be able to provide assistance for families like these. And we try to make it the least restrictive as possible and really keep the barriers low so that homeownership can be achievable.
The COVID-19 pandemic has made rent and mortgage payment a lot more stressful for many Montana families. There is help available through the Emergency Housing Assistance Program, which has already paid out more than $700,000 to help families.
The goal is to provide these funds so folks can stay in their homes and not have to experience ongoing financial crisis due to the COVID emergency. Homeowners that are participating in a forbearance program are eligible to apply, and the assistance from this program can help you become current so you don't have to tack those payments on to the end of your loan, and you can just stay current and not have to worry about that debt later.
Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
To learn more about the Emergency Housing Assistance Program, just head to our website. Temperatures much warmer today. Let's hope we can expect them to keep this way. Grant Garland, live now.
Yeah, that's right, Hallie. We did see a warm day today, and we're going to continue to see these warm temperatures, especially on Thursday when we're looking at those right around the upper 80s, low 90s for some of us. Outside today, we did see temperatures climb up to around 78 degrees here in the Electric City, as well as out towards Havre, Glasgow 82 and 83 in Jordan, 76 in the capital. And we also saw a breezy day too, 24-mile-per-hour wind gust here in Great Falls, 29 in Helena, out towards Glasgow around 31. Currently, temperatures 76 degrees in Great Falls, 77 in Havre, 79 in Glasgow, 77 in Helena. And our wind speeds too, I mean, they're sustained at 17 miles an hour here in the Electric City, so breezy definitely. Now over the last 3 hours, we have been looking at sunny skies. Don't need to worry about that. Mostly sunny skies for those south of Lewistown. As we head throughout the next 12 hours, we will see temperatures drop down to around 65 degrees by 9 p.m. with clear skies. By 3 a.m., looking at partly cloudy skies start to roll in. Later on, we're going to talk about our chances for fire weather, but for now, back to you.
All right, thanks, Grant. Well, in early July, the Federal Reserve created a U.S. coin task force to address a nationwide shortage of coins. As MTN's Matt Holzaffel tells us, the lack of change has caused some changes.
The coronavirus pandemic has caused shortages of things we previously usually had no trouble finding. First, it was things like toilet paper and masks. Now we're seeing a nationwide shortage of coins.
Normally, I bring back to the stores between here and downtown 3 boxes of at least quarters a week.
Stores like IGA have had to stop selling rolls of coins in recent weeks where they previously sold a lot.
Oh yeah, daily. We sold rolls and rolls of quarters at both locations.
The Federal Reserve says the pandemic has significantly disrupted the supply chain and the way U.S. coins are circulated. Coin deposits from institutions like banks to the Federal Reserve have declined over the past few months.
We've posted signs, and then when people ask, we just tell them at this time we're unable to sell change.
The Federal Reserve also says that as states reopen, the number of banks making requests for coins has gone up, while coin production is still down. At this particular IGA in Great Falls, management tells me they see a lot of people coming in looking for change of 5s and 10s to use at the laundromat just down the street, a request that the IGA currently can't fulfill. In Great Falls, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
A spokesperson for the Treasury Department said that they do plan to increase production of coins for the rest of the year. They say hopefully that will smooth out some of the issues businesses are experiencing right now.
For the first time in nearly 20 years, the federal government has executed a prisoner on death row after a middle-of-the-night ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court. Our Joe St. George is in Washington with a closer look at who is set to be executed and when.
The justices of the U.S. Supreme Court here in Washington gave the order at 2 a.m. this morning, allowing the federal government, the Justice Department, the ability to execute their first prisoners in 17 years. And they wasted a little time. Daniel WESLEY, who murdered a family of 3 in 1996, was the first to be executed this morning. He was set to be executed yesterday, but legal challenges were taking place. WESLEY-era PURKEY is now set for execution on Wednesday. He was convicted of raping and killing a Kansas girl in 1998. And finally, Dustin HONKEN is set for execution on Friday. He was convicted in 2004 of killing 5 people in Iowa. Now, challenges by those opposed to the death penalty centered around the fact that the Justice Department is using a single drug in order to carry out these executions. Some people believe it could result in executions being botched. The 5-4 decision was delivered by Chief Justice John Roberts, who said last-minute stays should be the extreme exception, not the norm. This also makes it an issue in the presidential election. Remember, President Trump believes justice still needs to be done. Meanwhile, if Joe Biden were to win in November, federal executions would likely be suspended. At the Supreme Court in Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
One current inmate on federal death row has ties to Montana. In 2005, Joseph Edward Duncan III killed 3 people at a Coeur d'Alene, Idaho home and kidnapped 9-year-old Dylan and 8-year-old Shasta Groney. Dylan Groney's body was found outside St. Regis, Montana after Shasta was spotted alive and rescued in Idaho. A jury returned 3 federal death penalties against Duncan in August 2008. In 2016, the U.S. Supreme Court denied Duncan's petition to hear his appeal. Following his conviction for the Idaho kidnappings and murders, Duncan pleaded guilty to the 1997 murder of an 11-year-old boy in Riverside, California. He's also been connected but never charged to murders in Washington state. No execution date has been set.
The ride for a cure and the journey of a lifetime. The story of 3 lifelong friends out to make a difference. Next.
Welcome. From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. Montana is home to roughly 3.5 million acres of wilderness area.
And 3 college students are on a quest to see as much of it as possible while raising money for a cause. Tom Wiley explains.
Harry Green, Troy Hennis, and Keegan Stroop are 3 lifelong friends from Belts who are 20 days into the journey of a lifetime.
It was Keegan that had the original idea. He called me up. I think it was December of 2018, and he called me up and he said that he wanted to do some kind of trip like this. And so then we had a couple, long conversations about it.
The trio is riding 500 miles on horseback through the Montana wilderness on a trip called Ride It Out Montana. The journey will last around 45 days, but it's not just a chance to seek adventure. They're riding for a purpose.
Somebody that we all knew in the Belt community that had recently passed from cancer. And so that kind of got me to thinking maybe we could do this ride and then have it associated with a cause.
Each member of the crew has a personal connection to cancer. Stroop has lost several friends and family members. Green is studying pre-med at Carroll College with the hopes to be an oncologist, and Troy Hennis lost his brother Tyler to cancer 6 years ago.
Like being that close to it, I've seen what it's like to go through that every day and stuff, and how hard of a fight that is, and how much it drains people, and how just exhausting it can be. So, we were kind of talking about it, like whenever something goes wrong on here, it's obviously not anything compared to what they're going through, but it shouldn't be easy for us. It's kind of fitting that we go through something hard, gain a little bit of perspective.
This trip won't cure cancer, and it won't stop people from hurting, but they hope it can provide help and healing to folks fighting the disease and to families that have lost loved ones.
Really, those kind of people that are going through this that keep us motivated, because it's like, well, they're going through something, that you would never want to imagine, something that is the hardest thing you'll ever deal with. I guess we're just grateful for the opportunity to put a smile maybe on these people's faces and, give them a little bit of encouragement.
Tom Wiley, MTN News.
The group has raised over $9,000 toward a $20,000 goal on the Ride It Out Montana GoFundMe page. And if you'd like to donate to cancer treatment and research, we've shared the link on this story at KRTV.com.
Well, temperatures tonight falling down to around 49 degrees here in the Electric City. Could be breezy at times. Don't go away. I'll have your full forecast coming up right after this break.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Grant Garland.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a great Tuesday. Temperatures today got up to around 77 degrees. The average for this time of year is right around 84. So, I'm not complaining. I like the kind of cooler weather. The record, though, was set back in 2002. That was a very, very hot year, setting a lot of records. In 2002, we saw 101 degree temperatures. Also the year that Avril Lavigne came out with the song Complicated. You're welcome for that song now being stuck in your head. Currently, taking a look out at the Highwood Mountains. Looks beautiful out there, especially with the poofy cumulus clouds. It makes me think of Bob Ross. He's just going to paint some happy clouds out there. Temperature 77 degrees, humidity at 20%, so it doesn't feel like you're getting slapped in the face with humidity like down south when you walk outside. 73 in Cutbank, 72 in Lewistown, 79 in Glasgow, and 77 in Helena. We are looking at a little bit breezy conditions here, 17-mile-per-hour winds. Earlier, we saw 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts, so it has been a breezy day. You mix that in with the warm weather, and You get low humidity, 20%. We are really dry, but not as dry as Helena, 13%. And whenever you mix all these ingredients together, you are looking at an increased risk for fire weather. So please avoid burning at all costs, because we are starting to enter into fire weather season. I know whenever I'm walking my dog that I'm starting to see the grass turning brown. Over the last 3 hours, we've been looking at sunny skies, and we'll continue to do so, all thanks to a high pressure that's off towards the northwestern part of the Treasure State, really influencing our entire weather pattern for us. And this will be the continuing trend as we go throughout the day tomorrow. We will, though, start to introduce a few clouds out and about, but I still think we're going to be looking at a mostly sunny day. The best chance to see any rain, if at all, will be up towards the Canadian border. So for folks along like Glasgow as well as Havre, you guys could be seeing a stray shower, but you definitely will see more cloud cover than those in central Montana. That high pressure will continue to strengthen on Thursday. This will allow for that warm air to really be brought in. We're going to be looking at temperatures in the upper 80s for a lot of folks. Some of us could even see the low 90s. But then as we go throughout the day on Thursday, we'll actually see our high pressure start to weaken, and we're going to be looking at this change. We're going to start to see clouds being brought into the area, and we could be looking at maybe an isolated shower or two on Friday. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, we will be looking at only 10 to 20 mile per hour wind gusts for most of us, 5 to 10 in some locations. It won't be a breezy day tomorrow. On Thursday, that will be when we see a bit breezier conditions. As we go throughout the next several days, 89 on Thursday, 87 on Friday before we drop down to around 77 on Sunday. Then we're going to have some rain, cooled air hopefully move in to give us some relief and also bring some of that moisture back into the area. But besides that, our next 2 weeks, rather long-term forecast, we are going to be staying drier, and we are also looking at just maybe a 50-50 chance of any rain. You can always follow me on social media, though, on Facebook as well as Twitter and on Instagram. You can always download that free KRTV app. 49 degrees tonight in Great Falls, 48 in Helena, 43 in White Sulphur Springs, 45 in Lewistown. Altogether, we will be looking at temperatures warming up to around 89 on Thursday, Friday 87 degrees, so get ready for the heat. By Saturday, we drop down to around 80 degrees, start to introduce a better chance for scattered thunderstorms on Sunday. And then Monday, we're going to be drying back out. We're going to see 82 degree temperatures for both Monday and Tuesday.
Thanks, Grant. And after the break, a Carroll College football player is helping Montana motorists see things a little more clearly. See how he's spending his summer.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Well, Lindsey Graham Gustafson has always been a key part of CMR's softball success, winning 4 straight championships as a player and adding 3 more as a coach. But this week, Gustafson was recognized for her college career. On Monday, North Dakota State University announced Gustafson had been inducted into its 49th Hall of Fame class. Gustafson was a 3-time All-American pitcher and outfielder for the Bison from 2001 to 2004. She led the team to 4 NCAA Division II tournaments, including a pair of North Central Region championships. She collected numerous accolades and is still NDSU's all-time leader in strikeouts with 1,019. Gustafson was humbled by the news and says the regional championships stand out among her favorite memories.
Just to be able to make our way through the NCC and then to the regional championship and then to be able to go be on that stage at a national tournament with 8 teams, like, it's just pretty amazing. It's definitely an honor to be going in with the people that I'm going in with and to be in that group overall. And I'm just thankful for my coaches taking a chance on me, a Montana girl, because not many people get recruited out of Montana. And I'm just really thankful for my coaches and my amazing teammates, because without them, I definitely wouldn't be here.
Gustafson resigned from the head coaching job at CMR in 2019 after spending 9 years at the helm.
While the future of fall sports remains unknown, student athletes around Montana continue to prepare for their athletic and educational endeavors. MTN Sports' Richie Melby introduces us to one college football player who has become quite the entrepreneur.
Like many college students, Thane Harrison was in need of a summer job. While friends and classmates landed jobs for local businesses, Harrison went a different route. He created his own.
I've been working for my dad at his car lot my whole life, detailing and cleaning and selling cars. So I knew how to restore headlights, and it kind of just cropped up in the head that I should turn that into a little bit of a business and start doing some volume on that and make a few bucks this summer.
Harrison created Carroll Headlight Restoration, and he spent his summer driving from client to client, transitioning headlights from grimy to gleaming.
With time, that top layer on the headlights will become oxidized, and I come in and I sand that off with a wet sand, come in and polish that off afterwards with my drill and polish, and then I finish with a protective coat.
Harrison is also busy with off-season football workouts, though that fall season and even school year have yet to be determined.
Prepare for the worst and hope for the best is really what we're thinking. So,
despite the uncertainty, it remains football and work, rinse and repeat. And for those in need of a good buff,
my business page is on Facebook. It's called Carroll Headlight Restoration. My name is Thane. My phone number is on there. My contact info, everything's on there. I can come to you. I do it quick. I show up on time, and for $30, I can get your headlights new and clean. All right, that's finished product.
Sounds like a motto for the business cards. Richie Melby, MTN Sports.
Final look at your forecast with Grant Garland is next. Stay with us.
Well, temperatures tonight will fall down to the upper 40s for a lot of us, and tomorrow as we head throughout the day, we will see temperatures warm up to around 70 degrees by 10 a.m. Looking at a mix of sun and clouds. Altogether tomorrow, 83 in Great Falls, 81 in Helena, and the next look at our 3 days, well, temperatures warming up to 89 on Thursday.
All right, take a look at this little guy. An orphan baby wombat is being raised by police officers in Australia. One police officer, who's also a wildlife volunteer, took the baby wombat back to the police station after its mother was killed. The officer made a bed under his desk for the little 8-month-old baby and named him Ted.
And now this little guy spends the day napping and following officers around the station. Looks like there's certainly no shortage of love and attention from the officers. The bottle feed him a special formula about 4 times a day, and if he's healthy enough, they hope to release him back into the wild in about a year. So
I'll take one.
That'll be a bittersweet day. All right, that's all the time we have. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.